Okay, hey YouTube, Todd here again, some guitar guy. First off, and as always, thanks for watching. And if you found me on the new Returning Rider Ramblings podcast, hey, thanks for joining, watching, and/or listening as well. So yeah, first ride 2025. These pictures were taken with my trusty GoPro 3, which I didn't realize will show up in just about every picture on a chin mount by Chin Mounts. Love this camera, love this ride, and a little bit of a gear test too. And I believe definitely one of my longer rides of late. And the girlfriend, who is a new rider, she shows up a couple times in my rear view. Her longest ride to date. So kind of gear to, first ride 25 is a beautiful day, as we can see. Really the only reason not to ride is not having proper gear. So we're kind of testing that out. And also kind of prepping for longer rides down to the beach, and I want to do like a state tour, kind of a three corners tour of the state and beyond. Who knows where, but yeah. And I think we've pretty much nailed everything. The bikes performed flawlessly. I don't know, kind of lessons learned. I'm not sure about this whole chin mount picture thing. I don't know. I haven't really decided. I have another video I'm working on. I need to finish up where I mounted it on the passenger foot peg, and kind of some interesting shots too from that. But can't say enough about this. I have a newer GoPro, an 8, but the battery life just sucks on those new GoPros. This thing was we'll take a look at the next slide. 3.5 hours in the road moving, plus the downtime. We stopped for fuel here in Princeton, and we stopped at Cross Keys Plantation, which was our destination. And we stopped here in Fountain Inn, and then rode back. And might as well call this 150 miles by the time we do the surface miles before we get started here in easily or close to 150 miles. And I still had battery. Had I been using the 8, I would have been on the third battery. They just suck. So it was 3.5 hours moving, and then probably add I don't know, another 45 minutes, maybe an hour, kind of pissing around, getting gas and all that kind of stuff, and plus walking around. And Cross Keys, if you haven't been, yeah, it is a beauty. And I do have some pictures of it. A beautiful and prime example of the Old South, I believe, in here in the upstate. So yeah, it was 45 when I left out. And I was fully layered, but it was forecast to warm up to like mid 50s, around 54, which I'm pretty sure it did. But I think I was probably a little too layered, so followed the girlfriend's lead and ended up taking out. I had the built. We both do built. I had started with the built waterproof jacket and pants, which both have thermal liners. I had the Climb Inferno mid-layer jacket as a mid-layer, and then the Magellan Grid Fleece top and bottom, plus waterproof boots, again built, and then the Joe Rocket Polar Ice, whatever they are, Polar Express, Arctic Ice, something along those lines. Big gauntlet gloves, but I ended up zipping out the thermal liner in the pants. It was fine. So yeah, first lesson: turn the camera off. And I would forget this again too. So we got started and had to stop, and I couldn't with the gloved hand. I just couldn't turn the camera on. So yeah, lesson 1, turn the camera on. Lesson 2, yeah, still a little, I don't know. I mean, this is what I see. This is basically what I see. Now my field of vision is wider than the camera shows, and I did have to crop a little bit because it was the camera was getting too much of the tank back. So maybe another few degrees up or something. But yeah, this is pretty much what I see. My chin bar, that's the lower part of my field of vision. But yeah, I think, this 3, again, it lacks a little bit of the vibrance, I guess is the right word for some of the colors. But clarity, definition, I mean, yeah, you can see sand and, all the power lines and I'm not using all the pictures because it takes a picture every minute. I had it set to 1 a minute, and I had to go in and, kind of crop and to get the tank bag out to get the view I want. But yeah, here we are heading out on SC 135 and 8. They run together here. We end up staying on Highway 8, but just a beautiful day. I mean, like I said, the only reason not to ride would be you don't have the right gear. And if you don't have the right gear, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say shame on you because, I've been there and haven't always had the right gear. But if you want to extend that riding season, yeah, it's all about the layering combination. You don't have to spend a fortune on this. We actually got her jacket and pants, which are both waterproof, both with thermal liners, and both were on sale at Cycle Gear for half price, and they perform. I don't think she likes the pants because they're kind of bulky, but they work. I've taken my combo out in similar temperatures, but rain the whole time, and I was 100% comfortable and 100% dry after, I don't know, I think it was about a 2-hour ride. So this stuff works. You don't have to break the bank to do this. So this is, I thought I kept this one because this is Easley High School here off to our left, and this is kind of where it started for her, at least with me. She had ridden some before, but that's where I rode her bike and she met me there, and just kind of duck walking around in the parking lot and turns and braking and all that kind of stuff before the MSF. So, and I mean to ask her, how she feels like riding by now, a fully licensed driver or motorcycle rider, and what kind of memories. But yeah, I was trying to think. The tank bag, another lesson learned, and we'll get one image of it later on. But it's a Cortec, which again I found on sale on the Cycle Gear side. It's the 12-liter version, so it's pretty big. You can get a lot of stuff in there. I didn't really have much at all in mine today, but it comes with backpack straps that are made to it, and I could not figure out how to stow them to keep them from flapping around. They actually came out twice during the ride, but I finally figured that out. So yeah, and kind of the dole reaction when I did figure that out. I think that's a pretty good shot. Maybe not to infinity, but the curve ahead, and then there's a little bit of a fork in the road. So kept it. Can't do anything about the sun being in the way. Where this is January the 1st, so the sun's always low in the sky. I mean, this is probably I don't know, 12 high noon and the sun's still that low, right? We're in that wobble phase. Pretty good shot here, still on I believe 135 has split off. I'm trying to think exactly where we are. 135 is split off, so now this is just SC8. But good shot. Just a lot of open country in addition to the weather. Just not a lot of traffic out, as you would expect on New Year's Day. And we actually did see some bikes, but I don't think a few bikes, but I don't think I really got any pictures of them. That's a pretty good shot. Does go on for a while. Sun kind of in the way again. Yeah, I don't know. Just kind of letting you know what's taking the pictures, but not a bad shot at all. Here, yeah, I think that's a really good shot. And that, as I'm making the video, I'm kind of trying to decide which one to use as my as the thumbnail. That's a really good one. You know, the road just kind of this scene kind of reminds me of I don't know, videos and pictures I've seen of the English countryside. The road's a little more narrow. You see, you know, it's breaking up, the asphalt's breaking up, but pastures on both sides, and a little hilly, some little curves, but you know, a good mix of terrain and roads for her. 2 lanes, 4 lanes, nothing too technical in these turns, but you know, to get her kind of get her riding legs. Now I did wondered how this would work, and I did probably more than I normally would, and I hadn't switched over yet to the Joe Rocket gloves. I just noticed that, but I tried to turn my head left and right more than I normally do when I saw something I thought was photo worthy. And yeah, it worked, I guess. It kind of brings out the fisheye effect with that utility pole, and you still can't, I don't really know what I was looking at, but yeah, I don't know, it worked okay, I suppose. Maybe not the best answer, I don't know. We'll keep experimenting with that. Again, you know, another not terrible shot. Really not even sure. I think the fisheye must straighten this curve out a little bit, but you know, these chevrons telling you a curve ahead, but which you should be able to see, right? But you know, the fence and whatnot in the foreground, and I just noticed that car just passed me, but a lot of farm country. You know, and the upstate was well, so was the lower part of the state. The whole state really was agricultural, but not a bad shot there. So here's a moped, but this is the little town of Piedmont. And like so many towns in South Carolina, railroad towns, railroad first, and then textile mill usually right behind that. This is an old mill complex off to the right, and I think this is the Saluda River we're crossing. You can just barely see the water there through the bridge. This, unlike a lot of mills in our area, has not been converted to residential or something. I'm not sure why. I think there were plans to. We did research that lightly, and they fell through for whatever reasons. But a quaint little town. I like that they still have their Christmas decorations up in there. You know, we can see her. Yeah. Well, no, I thought she was in it, but she's either on behind me. I thought the sign was her, but kind of a neat view in the rear. She must be closer than the mirrors picking up. I thought the sign was her, but I hadn't zoomed in until then. So yeah, it's a cool thing about pictures, zooming in on, make sure that is a moped. Can't really tell. think so. But anyway, and still, again, just can't go on enough about the little GoPro. And just for reference, like I said, the 8 would take, I don't think there's that much difference in the definition. Sharper images, of a little bit, but not, I don't think, to the wow. I think what the big difference between the 8 and the 3 in image quality is the vibrance of the colors. So everything does look a little maybe grayish, semi-washed out. I think a part of that's the lighting. But here we are on US 25 headed south. This is Augusta Road. This was the main, and still is, the main connector between, say, Asheville behind me and Augusta, Georgia in front of me. So, and I grew up an hour or so this way, the way we're going, in a little town called Greenwood. So know this area well because my clan is all behind me in western North Carolina around the Hendersonville area. So yeah, many trips up and down US 25. Another farmhouse, farms, just pretty much wide open spaces. More of the same, better asphalt, more farms, and really not there. There are a couple little, I don't know, wide spots in the road. A couple of red lights, kind of, just there. But just open highway, and good chance for her and me too to log some miles. And at this point it was a little breezy but not bad, and really loving this little fly screen too. It actually does a pretty surprisingly well job up to about 60. And then once you get over 60, it's about all it's really going to be able to do. To get any benefit from it, you would have to lean forward and maybe even get into a full tuck. So again, when we're on US 25 for a while, but a pretty good shot, off in the distance. Still the sun low in the sky, and we did stop for fuel. Not yet. But more pastures. We did stop for fuel. I can only go about 100 miles. I can go longer than that because the bike does get over 40 miles per gallon, and it's a 3.3 gallon tank. But definitely don't want to get to the hit reserve and not have fuel pretty close. Another good shot. And just a beautiful day, for a great day for a first ride. So this is after our fuel stop. This is on US 76, and this is a cool little road, and I've driven it and ridden it before. A little more narrow, right? It's still a major, a main US highway, US primary highway, but it kind of meanders through a couple of smaller towns, very scenic towns like Lawrence and Clinton, and our ride to the beach will go this way. So that would have been a pretty awesome shot, but the Honda's kind of in the way, and there are some curves, but I mean they're gentle sweepers and higher speed curves, but give her some more experience leaning the bike. Again, one of these, and I think I switched over at the fuel stop to these Joe Rocket gloves, but just more pastures, and again, me trying the turn in the head thing. So I don't know. I'm still working that out. Here's just a glimpse of the Cortec tank bag, which I would actually make use of this map pocket as my cardo dod. Amazing battery, but of course, Murphy's Law, if anything can go wrong, it will. So aside from a little bit of the fisheye with the power lines and whatnot, this is coming into Laurens. And yeah, very much a picture postcard Main Street. A lot of beautiful, older, not sure what the architecture, and there's different types of architecture. But love the columns. Love that kind of, I don't know, maybe that's a Gothic style. But yeah, again, a beautiful day. Try to, ignore some of the fisheye effect. But yeah, a beautiful, beautiful day in the Laurens. A little closer into the square. The old clock. I think that, yeah, that's the courthouse annex with the flag at half staff. And then pretty sure the main courthouse is on, but didn't get an image of that. And even checking the rear views, church, and can't really get anything out of the right mirror. A little bit dark, but love the Christmas decorations still being up. New Year's Day. And then out of Laurens. And actually, I think I did skip ahead a good bit. This is probably Highway 56. And if that car wasn't there, I would probably use this as the thumbnail, because the road just really does seem to go on for absolute ever. Not a bad shot either. A little bit of the fisheye, but you can't have everything right. The lighting's maybe a little better, as it's kind of behind me now and not blinding me. And probably use this one. This will probably be the cover photo, if you will. But and saw this, and then once we get to Cross Keys, another destination I'd really kind of forgotten about. But this, and I've never been here, this is the State Historic Site for Musgrave Mill, which was a Revolutionary War battleground. And then on, not too terribly, I think about 8 or 9 miles from Cross Keys, is I think it's Rose Hill Plantation. So pretty amazing these have survived to present day. So, and not long after that, we do get to Cross Keys. Actually missed the turn and had to go down. There's a road here in front of the house, and then a road runs alongside, and we had to come back up and circle around. But this is probably, and this is with my iPhone. The colors are more vibrant. There's more detail. It's definitely an improved camera over the 3, but still, in what I'll have to zoom in. I think this is about my favorite with the stone wall. It's a little hard to see, but there's like a herringbone pattern up the chimneys, and then up in the gable on each side are the crossed keys. It starts to lose its definition as we zoom in, but just a beautiful old home. It was brick. That was very rare at the time it was built. And these outbuildings I thought were super cool. And I have to give a shout to the Historical Society. The Cross Keys, I understand, was about 1,000 acres at one time, and these various buildings were at different locations on the property. But the Historical Society moved these, or had these moved and restored, and yeah, very well done. Definitely adds character and flavor, and just really cool. And I don't think they want you there when they're there, and they're only open very limited times. So we didn't like try to go in any of these or really even walk around them much. We did walk around the main house and get some pictures. That's another good shot, just a little closer in. But didn't want didn't want to appear to be up to no good, so we didn't stay too terribly long, 15 or 20 minutes, I guess. Took some good pics. I think that's a good shot there of the bikes. And I'll just let you read that real quick, or you can pause the video. But it's about as far as the eye could see, and probably further than that would be 1,000 acres. So this was a significant place in its day, and travel patterns have changed, and it is kind of a relic now. And there was a I don't know what you call that, but I guess a hitching post where travelers would tie their horses up, and we thought about moving the bikes over there as if they were horses back in the day. And probably its big claim to fame, or one of its claims to fame, and it's hard to read standing there. So yeah, that's a pretty accurate representation. But Jeff Davis, back in the Civil War, once Richmond fell or its fall was imminent, and his group were retreating to Abbeville, South Carolina, and eventually Texas. They stopped here for a meal during their retreat. So yeah, interesting. Frontal shot, which that's tree kind of obscures it, but also kind of adds to it as well. A lot of stone, granite maybe, and I think the steps were made of granite, so none of this is going anywhere anytime soon. And then kind of from an angle to the side, again, the rock, that's just I don't know, it is beautiful, and some Helene damage as well. It did take still kind of hard to see that kind of double helix that they built into the to the brick there, but certainly not a I don't know, a field hand or farmer's house of the day. This was big money of the day. And love that herringbone down here, and again way up here at the top in the gable, the Cross Keys. So yeah, beautiful old plantation. So yeah, fast forwarding ahead, a couple of 100 years or so, turn the camera on, keep learning that lesson. But we stopped. Sun's getting even lower. Stopped. Should have gotten something warm to drink, I guess, but I got a frappe, and I think she got a soda, and thought we were going to see a fight in the Fountain Inn Mickey D's, but ended up the Cardo died, and ended up actually using the map pocket. So I don't do a phone mount. I just think they look horrible on I haven't seen a bike that I thought, wow, that looks good. It just ruins the lines of the bike. And I don't know, I guess you could say a tank bag does the same thing, but I don't know, kind of dual 2-in-1 function. I just dropped the phone in the map pocket. I knew the way, but I hadn't ridden this section or driven this section of 418 from Woodruff to Fountain Inn. I think I had driven or ridden the rest of it. But that section between Woodruff and here is a little hidden gem of a motor. It's a decent motorcycle road, and that's also a really good shot. And it doesn't show the camera right in the reflection, so it's probably between these two for the cover photo. But the kind of road seems to go on for infinity, pasture land. Yeah, that's definitely number in the top. And I don't know, this is really not a bad shot either. But looking out over the that's just a pasture, probably cattle with a cow pond and all that, but not a bad shot. But yeah, so still kind of undecided on the camera, but remember to turn it on whatever we do. Finally figured out once I got home how to stow those backpack straps. Layering, we pretty much nailed it. We were both comfortable during the entire ride. And I can't think of any other real lessons besides, gear up and layer up and ride when you can, take advantage when you can. But I don't know, let me know your thoughts, whatever, on any of this stuff, what camera system, how it mounts, all that kind of stuff you use to record your rides, if you do. Luggage, layering, I don't know, if you've been here, anything like that, thoughts and ideas in the comments. So that's all I have, and I will share some more as we go. But please remember to do the YouTube thing, and until next time, 2 wheels down. Thanks, guys.